your hands because they so-called keep selling this debt a lot of times when they can't collect on it. So think about it like this. Many of us go to Walmart. You come right from that register. They'll see you check out with somebody from that register. But as soon as you get to that door, what they're going to do, can I see your receipt? Well, you just saw me come from over there. What do you mean, see my receipt? You saw I just paid. They don't care because they want to see proof that you bought it. If they don't have a proof in that receipt that you bought it, they're going to consider that you ain't paid for it. And it's the same thing with them. Where's the proof that they bought a debt? And if you did even purchase something, say you purchased from someone off the street, some tools or some jewelry, even if you get a receipt from them that you paid for it, if they didn't get it by legal means, then guess what? The police gonna tell you, then it ain't yours. You just lost your money because they didn't even acquire it by legal means. So if they broke into somebody's house, went into Home Depot, took it out and stole it, even if they gave you a receipt and you paid for it, it was not legally theirs to sell. Same thing with these collections. You need to see, is it even legal for them to sell? When you start that agreement with the original creditor, did you give them the right to sell that debt? You would have to establish that with you and the original creditor. So many a times with credit cards, they'll tell you, oh, you agreed with that with the use of the terms and service. Really? Many a times when they send you that credit card, you were supposed to sign saying that you got the card and send that contract back with the interest rate and all the details in there. Many of us don't send it back. Many of us just sit there and use that card. Now, I might owe them, but it don't mean I owe you. So just like with my daughter Diamond, if you borrowed money from Diamond and you never paid her back $100 and she's tracking you down for that $100 and you still didn't pay her that back, if she comes to me and say, hey mom, if you can get that money from Raquel, just pulling that name out of the blue, Raquel, then you can keep that $100 or just pay me 25 and you keep $75. You keep the most of that. If I come to you and then say, hey, can you give me that $100? You are like, well, I'll pay her the $100 because I owe her, but why would I give you the money? I didn't get money from you. How do I owe you? And that is the same key with these debts. How do they have a right to collect on a debt? We all owe bills. All of y'all right now owe a bill to somebody. But even with your electric bill, if I knock on your door holding your bill with your electric company name on it and tell you, pay me your electric bill, or better yet, your lease, and I, which your landlord, and I say, pay me your rent, you will call the cops on me. Same here. Where do you owe them? Where's the legal right for them to collect on the debt? So the way you push that is with a debt validation letter. Thank you so much, Miss Murphy. Thank you. Miss Murphy is always supporting the live. I really appreciate it, Miss Murphy. Thank you so much for your gift and your super chat. Me and Diamond appreciate it. Thank you. So that is the question, you guys. Make sure that you, whoever it is, make them show they have a legal right to collect on the debt, because many of them don't. This is why they want to get you on the phone to actually connect a verbal contract with them directly. They know it's shaky. So they want to get on the phone and tell you, you had a Verizon bill, right? Don't you owe Verizon and you feel guilty, like, yeah, I do owe Verizon, this, but it don't mean you owe them. And so what they're trying to do is bind a verbal contract. That's why they record the conversation. And that's why they'll tell you they cannot not record that conversation. And if you're not careful, you can open yourself up for a lawsuit just by saying, "Oh, okay, I can pay 25," because now you're agreeing to do business with them. You're agreeing to do business with that company. So you want to be very careful. And that type of debt, maybe under your state, may already be past the statute of limitations. By you agreeing to pay them, you can open yourself up for a lawsuit that they couldn't bring against you. So, because it's reporting on your credit report, it doesn't mean they still can sue you. It might be past the statute of limitation in your state. And then on top of that, if you begin to pay them, what happens is the last time you made a payment on that account, it was a charge off. The date of last payment, the very last payment you made on that account, that's when the 7 years start to keep it on your credit report. If it already passed, say 6 years, and you start paying them, now that gives them the right to report it for another 7 years. So now you're almost going to look at on the cusp of 14 years of this negative item being on your credit report because you're at 6, you was just shy of 1 year. So you're looking at like 15 years just by you not knowing that this is what they're doing. So with this verbal contract, it's like your marriage. You say I do, but when it's time for you not to I don't and get a divorce, you have to go through a whole legal process because you bind a verbal contract. It's the same thing here, and they know that. So this is why they want to entrap you into that. And so it's just like if you buy a home, they have to do a title search. They have to make sure that property, whoever the seller, really have clear title. The same thing with them. Where's the receipt that they bought this debt? Where's the contract that I gave a legal right for the original creditor to sell that? So you want to look at, depending on the type of debt, what kind of contract, if there is a contract. So you always want to send a debt validation letter. And so we're going to give you that code so you guys can get a discount debt validation letter. If you need to verify, make them verify the debt. Even in that first 30 days, it's good to have these letters because anytime a company try to pursue a debt like that from you, you need to send them a debt validation letter, because if they cannot show proof they have a legal right to collect on that debt within that first 30 days, they cannot put it on your credit report. Now, many people say, well, it's past time. Well, if it's past time, then what you would do is simply then still send that debt validation letter. That's your right under the FCRA. And that's what you need to do, is send that debt validation letter to make them prove it. Now, many a times what you're going to have is many of those companies, they're going to send you back a bill. And if you need those debt validation letters and you want it with the discount code, the code you're going to use tonight is LIVE. So remember, LIVE, that's the code you guys are going to have. So what you want to do, send them that debt validation letter directly to the collection company. You send it certified mail. Okay, that is the key. Make sure you never sign those letters. Let me say it again. Make sure, do not sign those letters. Those people be scamming. Okay, they will get your name out of anywhere. I had one just recently. They will straight up lie. It's a lot of them blacklisted right now. You want to make sure you go to the CFPB website and look them up. A lot of these companies are blacklisted because they keep lying. Portfolio Recovery Services was good for this, and they got fined and they had to pay out a big fine. A lot of y'all had those on your credit report from Portfolio Recovery Services. What they were doing, they would even sue folks when it was a time barred debt. Many people get scared, they don't answer it, and they were garnishing people paychecks, taking them to court for debts people didn't even owe. These companies will do that. So if you have some kind of debt, do not sign that letter, because they can take your signature and put it then on a contract. So be careful. Don't sign those. All right. Then make sure you send it directly to them, the date that they received it. So with that post office, that's the day they received it. That's when the 30 days, they need to respond back within the 30 days. Many of them will send you a bill from the other company. A bill from another company, that don't mean that I owe you. That's just a bill. So you're just showing me somebody else's bill. Another thing they'll do with, when you have a, let's say, a rental, if you have a rental debt, they will just send you the end signature of that lease. Well, where's the rest of the lease? So who said that the owner could sell that? That owner, did they write that off on their taxes as a loss? There's a lot of things. So, it's a lot of little wonky things in there. So you want to watch what you and they are doing, and it depends on the debt. Now, one particular little secret that they don't want you to know: medical debt. A lot of y'all in the medical field, you already know, they send you back that bill. A lot of that's a violation of the HIPAA Act. They have your personal private health information. That's a violation. That has to be stored in a certain way. So those, once they respond back, we have a special letter, especially for medical debts, because we have a letter when we let them bait them in, because that's what they're going to do, send you a bill, a medical bill, to let them know that they are violating the HIPAA Act. And there's penalties and fines with that. So you want to make sure that you're actually tagging and hitting these people with information that they know is valid. Another good thing that I suggest everybody to do, what you do, go on the Better Business Bureau, make sure in that line space, add on those that are board members, secretary, president, vice president. Make it out to them. Just don't put the company, put some names in the title, because they make the business decisions for the company. So they can be liable for a lawsuit. So you want to make sure that you're addressing certain people and name them. That's just a good tip to add in. If a lot of them try to hide, I get a little lower level name, customer service rep. If you need somebody like that, go to LinkedIn. People love to put their job and where they work. Just put that address, that company, and the location that they send it from, pop right up. Jamie worked there. Get her name too. Because imagine if you have to serve them with a lawsuit. If you need to, you name names. And imagine you just work at your job right now. I ain't upper management. I ain't none of that. Imagine you get served at work with a lawsuit. You're going to have a fit. Somebody going to have to do something about this, because they suing me now and I just work here. Okay. So that's part of it too. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you, Mr. Parker, for the super chat. We really appreciate you. And also, Miss Murray, Mr. Parker, thank you so much for supporting the live. I really appreciate it. And so, those are some tactics, you guys. You want to focus on the type of debt. So, even in our package, what we have differently, I'm a landlord. If you guys have different ones when you have collections for a tenant with a lease and all of that, depending on your state, what did they do with your security deposit? How did they apply that? What was it for? They might have supposed to notify you. Certain states have rules that security deposit supposed to within 30 days, I know in New Jersey, be deposited in a bank account. So did they do that? Because if not, that's a violation. If they didn't write you, a lot of times that's a violation of the state law. So with that third party, demand that information. Okay, you got the original lease. Show me what you did with the security deposit. And did you notify me? Did you send me certified mail? And most states, they have to notify you before they take that a security deposit, what they applied it to. Let me know, because certain things are not even legal for regular wear and tear for them to deduct that. And that varies from state to state. So push them for that type of information. And a lot of times they don't have that because they're just buying these debts all in one big portfolio. That's why you have names like Portfolio Recovery Services. They're buying multiple debts, so they're not that clean. Okay, so just remember that. So that's what you want to do. Start off by making sure that they validate the debt. And if you got a repo, if it's a collection, repos, they are supposed to follow particular rules. When they repossess your car, give you a notice of that payment of being late, how much you're behind before they repo the car. If they take the car, after that, they're supposed to send you a notice. Hey, how much you have to pay to redeem the car. If you don't, they need to send you a notice when that car is going to auction, giving you a chance to be there so you know how much that car sold for at auction. You need your original contract with that car, because what was the terms and conditions if that car was repo? Are they really charging you the correct interest rates and other fees? So you can push that collection company to produce that, which they supposed to produce. And we have that in certain debt validation letters created just for the repossession. So depending on the type of debt you have, or the type of collection, you have a different attack. Now, when it comes down to student loans, unfortunately, your federal government really boxed you in a long time ago, back in 2005, where they made it that you have to pay that debt back, even with third parties that's purchasing it. But yet and still, do they really have a legal right to collect on the debt? And so if there's a student loan debt out that's outstanding, a balance, you need to go and get your whole payment history with that student loan. Many of these companies have been caught actually doing illegal things. Sally Mae, that's why they had to switch their accounts over. And then you had Navient got hit. Also somebody recently, I think it was Navient, a couple of these companies, what they were doing, especially even with Sally Mae, all the way back then, they weren't applying those payments correctly. So you would make a payment, and some of them was pushing people into forbearance and deferment, different ways that they were pushing these debt back baiting people to do it, taking especially forbearance, that interest was still accumulating. And there might have been other programs that you could have been into to save you on the interest accumulating on that debt. So by them doing that instead of income driven programs, you would have had less interest pile up. And a lot of them knew that. And they were doing that on purpose because they wanted to increase the debt over time so they can make more money. So you can check out the I believe it's studentloan.gov, or go to your servicer and find out, I want the whole payment and account history on these student loan accounts, all the way back from the very beginning. Some of y'all have these outstanding student loan debts for a long time. Go and get the record. And you can also check with your local state and your schools. Also reach your state FAFSA. If you was getting FAFSA funding, go to FAFSA and call them and see what the payouts was. And you want the whole history on that. So make sure you're getting that track record, because they have a responsibility that they must accurately report that information too. That's part of their fiduciary responsibility. So you want to make sure that you get your whole account history so you can catch these lies on these balances. And so once you send that send that debt validation letter, I want you guys to then check your credit reports, because once they receive a debt validation letter, they are supposed to actually notify the bureaus that you are disputing that. If you don't see that show up on your credit report, you can turn around then at the end of that 30 days, dispute that with the credit bureaus and let them know, hey, this is the date I contacted them. Either A, they didn't respond, and they never send nothing back to you certified mail. Wink, wink. They just send you something back. Did you get it? No. I ain't getting nothing. So when you go back to the bureaus, I contacted them and they ain't send me not a reply back. So delete this off of my credit report. Here's the proof. They never responded to me. And there's no notations here that I sent them when they're responsible for notifying the credit bureaus that this collection is in dispute. There's no notations. Here's proof. I sent it to them, certified mail. They never responded. Delete that, because this is a violation against the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So I want this removed. So that's part of the tactics that you can have and keep in your back pocket to get rid of some of these debts. Like I said, you don't want to keep battling. The longer you dispute certain items, the longer and resistant it is. Also, it's always a good practice. Get those old addresses off of your credit report. Do that, because we all have people in our state right now. And if you have a real common name like Mike Jones, you might have another Mike Jones in your complex. So they merge credit profiles all the time, because what they do is keep track of what's your profile with those old addresses. So you want to get those off, because that's what helps seat those negative items and any incorrect names. A lot of y'all remove that, just like my name, Sherry Beckley. So even if they flip my name, sometimes I'll see Shirley Beckley. I have an aunt named Shirley. That could be them merging my credit profile with hers. Or it could be Shirley Beckley, somebody with a name nearby me that they have that. Or if they flip your last name, Beckley Sherry. No, get that off. That's an incorrect name. No, I don't know who this person is. This is incorrect. Clear all of those off because it's personal identifiers that they're trying to keep those accounts, especially bankruptcy. If you moved, you want to get that old address off. If you had a collection living at that old address, get it off. If you can actually get licensed at your parents' house, somebody else under a whole different name, and clean that off, that's even better for disputing. You just want to mix it up. So those are some tactics for you to deal with those type of accounts. If you need more personal help, if you have some variations, you can sign up with my elite credit system. And if you can present it to me, we can find a customized better angle for you. Okay, so Diamond, we're going to answer some questions if people know or have any questions.
Yes, so I'm going to answer this one because it's directly into our topic. How do I remove old addresses and incorrect names? From Kay Rodriguez.
You can dispute those. You can dispute that. Add on your bill and your current information. Now, with that, you don't want to be sitting at the address doing that. And also to help, I would if you just move, or what you can do with the post office, just do a address change to your current address, because believe it or not, the post office do report those address change to your credit report. And make sure, you guys, you don't, because a lot of y'all have a problem getting that off. Old bills. Oh, Miss Rodriguez, thank you, Miss Kay. Kay is a part of our elite credit system too, and she's been with me from day one when I was on YouTube. I mean Facebook. So thank you for the question. Great question. And what you can do with the post office, update your information or you change your address. They report that, and make sure, you guys, you don't have that old address on your bank statements, because some of y'all have old bank statements or old things with your bank that you got. Maybe you ain't update that because you're getting your bills online. A lot of banks now don't send it to you in the mail. You're getting it online, your bank statements, and you forgot to update your new address. Most of 90% of their information they're getting from the top banks. That's why they can say verified. And make sure, if you have bank statements, old credit cards, a lot of y'all with your credit cards, you might not be getting that in the mail. You might just be getting that stuff online. Check with all of that stuff and make sure you updated your new address. That's why a lot of times people say, I disputed this and it won't come off. Make sure all your stuff, student loans. A lot of y'all didn't have your student loans. You're getting your notifications online. That's why they won't remove that old address. So make sure y'all go through all your important accounts, student loans, bank statements. Those are big ones. Your insurance. A lot of y'all might have all of this stuff online now. Big, and it is better because you like, hey, even with your mail, you might have multiple people that have access, and you feel more secure with it online. But if you leave something with an old address on it, they're reporting to the credit bureaus. So that's the way you want to make sure you do that.
Miss Nicole said, I have collections with Midland Collections, and when I dispute it, it comes back verified. Do you know?
Did you send a debt validation letter? That's what I went over. Diamond, can you drop? She's gonna drop it right now. Thank you, Robert G. You always check in on my videos. I really appreciate you. And he's always here on my live. So thank you. But what you want to do is take the steps to send them a debt validation letter. And like I said, if they don't update that, even though it's coming back verified that you're disputing with them, take that tactic, send the debt validation letter, certified mail. And then once they receive it, wait 30 days, take it and then dispute with the credit bureaus that they never responded to me. Here's the proof. So with that proof, you guys, you can make a copy of that green receipt, keep that, but go to the UPS website and show the date they received it from the post office. Print that out as your proof and send that. Also, you guys, when we dispute with the Elite Credit System with my packages, if y'all don't know this, we do affidavits. Affidavits is important because what they try to say, oh, we don't know it's you, yada, 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 especially with the addresses. No, I am verifying with our affidavits. I am who I am. That's who you're swearing to. I went to an officer of my state that signed. They got my ID, and I am here at this address. I am this person, and send that. Now, once you get it stamped, you guys, send it with every dispute. Keep the original, but use the copy to send to those credit bureaus. Thank you so much, Miss Rodriguez. Kay, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We appreciate the support. Thank you so much.
So we have a question from Trenda Bow. What if a debt buyer, Jefferson Capital, is suing you?
Who is they suing you in their own name, or is there a lawyer group doing it? Because the way a lot of times it could be an attorney that, depending on the state, purchased that debt. Now, what I would do, a lot of times, I'm not an attorney, so this does not constitute legal advice. I'm just telling you things I did in the past. Number one, I would consult an attorney. That's number one in your state, because number one, did they properly serve you? Did they file that lawsuit in the proper jurisdiction? Depending on how much the debt is, when you have your local court, you have civil and special civil or small claims. Depending on how much they're suing you for, there can be different variations on how they serve you. Okay. So in the state of New Jersey, if it's under like 15,000, they can serve you with a certified letter. But if it's over that, they have to have a servicer come out and serve you or somebody of a certain age for proper service. So you want to make sure they're properly serving you, and also abiding by the statutes, the laws that govern your state laws and the court rules. And so with me, I always use the tactic, if I'm being sued, on top of that, I am going to countersue them for defamation of character more than what they're suing me for. So I'm going to name names. If it's an attorney, oh, you going to work today. Okay. If you're going to sit up here and lie, we're going to make it real murky for you, since you're saying you're suing for them folks, but you owe that. If them folks really suing you, we going to name names. And in the terms of Little John, he prophesied and said, shots, everybody. And so did Tsunami Surf. Okay. Everybody going to get it. Okay. That's what I said earlier. You go to the Better Business Bureau, we're going to snatch up president, vice president, and treasury, or anybody else. We're going to get one of them that make the business decisions. Well, a couple of them. I like to sue a lot of folks. I like to make sure shots everybody. Okay, around for everybody. Then I'm going to go to LinkedIn. Like I told you, whoever, and they love Diamond. What was that, Drewski? Maybe I'm there taking them pictures and whatever that I work here. Got them. Your customer service rep got you right there. Look at the address. We getting your name. Sorry, Jamie, I gotta get you. Who, you're the manager over collection. Oh, we know we gotta get you, Michael. Grab them names up, put them, like I said, on that original letter. I like to get them. I like to get who I'm going to sue. Just in case I got to sue somebody, I like to get them early. So I got my little evidence. But when they're suing you, you add a countersuit. And you're not going to only sue the company, you're going to sue them folk that you snatched up. Put their names. And if you suing me for $10,000, oh no, I'm suing you for 12. Defamation, you're lying. I don't owe you all of that. I don't owe you, if it's third party, I don't owe you none of that. I never got anything from you guys. Show me that. And you're lying on me if this ain't totally accurate. You better make sure all this interest is right. Because you said, well, where are you lying? What do you mean defamation? Oh, you're lying to my creditors. I just got denied because you're putting on my credit report that I owe you $5,000 and I don't even know you. I don't even know you. That's a lie. Or if I do know you, you say I owe you 5,000, but I might only owe you 2,000. I could have got that loan. If it was 2,000, who's to say? But it said I was denied. So right on my credit report, you make sure you get your credit report from annual credit reports or get your or .com, whatever. Get your real credit reports initially from the bureaus directly. They're not going to have scores, but then also make sure as this progress, you can pull it off of the website. Okay. Because sometimes they'll take it off. If you hit them with a suit, I did that to somebody and then they start taking it off because I did defamation. Get them early. Get your stuff early. No, I got you. And see, y'all, they took it off. See here, they done took it off. So you still got them. I still got them. You lied on me. Here's my denial letters. It said outstanding debt right here. They told me no. Y'all little homes. Y'all was trying to get a home. Get that mortgage person to write it down. You got this collection with LDMB. See, I'm denied on my home loan. Even if you get approved, my interest rate, that's a loss. So that's how you do it. Okay. So what you won't do, you sue me, I'm suing you back. And guess what? It's just like if somebody is robbing you on the street, if they got the gun pointed at you and say, give me all your money, oh, you in a predicament unless you got heat on you and say, you'll get who? All my money. Matter of fact, let me run your pockets. Whole different conversation. They gonna want to, you know what? How about if I let you go? You let me go? We can do that. Maybe give me $10 though, because for my time, Okay. So that's a totally different negotiation. But you better talk to an attorney. We have Legal Shield. I keep my Legal Shield. People be like, yada, yada, yada. I don't really like. Listen, it's good for you to review those contracts. And if a lot of y'all with Legal Shield, which y'all don't know, with those legal services, prepaid, whatever, if you got it, get that attorney to write them. If they already sued you, it's a little bit too late. But a lot of times, if y'all see it with an attorney and they're about to sue you, you better get them folks to write them back for you so it look like you done lawyered up. Let them write that attorney. See, y'all don't know about that. Y'all always y'all don't be knowing how to use stuff right. To be honest, you just be complaining about stuff, but you don't know how to think outside you don't know how to use things correctly. I keep my Legal Shield because I had them to review my contract, let them tell you, and I'll have them to write me a letter quick, fast, in a hurry on somebody. Okay? Because when they write you a letter, those are attorneys in your state, or at least they can tell you about that. Now, some of them, what you got to watch with attorneys in general, you got to learn. Because listen, think about this. If I can get you, no, let's talk about you. Don't put it on me. If I or you can get Diamond to pay Diamond $2,000 because somebody is suing you for $10,000. And Diamond's going to pay us $2,000. Would you prefer to go to court and write up and go through that? Or would you prefer to make a phone call for $2,000 and then talk to the other side? You got your $2,000 already, and tell them, hey, we'll pay you instead of the 10, we'll pay you 3. And I turn around, Diamond, didn't I do a good job? Cut that in half. You got 5. Who's to the better? Me. Because I ain't do nothing but make a phone call, and I done ran her for $2,000. You got to think sometimes, too, for yourself. Understand, I don't want to go to court if I can make a phone call, and who cares? That's the way. So you got to know for yourself, okay? You got to know certain things for yourself. Where's the proof? And because some of them like, well, do you owe it? No, I don't owe it to them. Where's the proof? I owe it to them. Well, that's why I'm hiring you. I want you to push on them to get the proof that they owe it, okay? It's reasonable doubt, okay? If they're suing you, y'all always remember the burden of proof is on them. Puffy is about to slide and glide because the federal burden of proof was on them, and all you got to do is throw in a little reasonable doubt. That's all you got to do. Do you, hold on, is that correct? Is that balance correct? Because as far as I know, I made a payment on my credit card, Capital One, good for this, on Friday, and they didn't apply that payment till 3 days later. And now they hit me with a late fee, or they made me late 30 days because I was just paying it, messed up my other credit cards, that messed up my interest rate. I was on a 0 APR. No, that card didn't come with that. Show me proof. Because they don't give you, they give you a brochure. Show me proof. You got that certified that you sent that to me? Of course they don't. So your responsibility is reasonable doubt. Okay? Because if not, if this ain't all the way correct, you're lying on me, defamation, and I got you. Okay? And guess what? If you win that, if the judge say, oh, well, you won, it's going to hit them directly. Not that they can hide behind a corporation because you name names. That's what you got to do. And guess what? They can't defend themselves. They're going to have to get an attorney. So you want to have to run up a bill. Okay? You got to least, what is that? The Judice girl from the Housewives. You got to shake the table.
Teresa. Oh, what's that, Teresa?
Was it K. Michelle? Oh, Lord.
K.
Michelle. Remember?
That was K. Michelle.
Oh, Lord, she's shaking the table. You better shake the table on somebody and let them know it's about to get crazy up in here. Shake the table on somebody. Don't always be scared and hide. And look, you better get aggressive and let them know it's easier prey. You know, the lion is hungry. He the king of the jungle, but you don't see him monkeying with that elephant too much. He go for the gazelles, the zebras, because they scurry off. But the lion can beat that elephant in the drought if he's weak, but he might get hurt and can't hunt no more. So I always, with me, I ain't the king of the jungle. I ain't trying to do all that. All I am is the elephant or the giraffe. Guess what? There is easier prey over here. Don't come over here. You seen that thing with the giraffe kick that lion? My God, it was kicking this lion up. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
It kicked this lion. This lion tried to get buck on a giraffe. The giraffe looked peaceful and all they want to do is eat some leaves. That lion ran on that giraffe. He was kicking the lion. That's why the lion picks its target. You should too. Let them know I ain't the one. Thank you so much, Veronica S. also for the gift. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And somebody says Scott and Associate is the attorney for them. You need to also do a Google search and see if that company sue. You can just check with Google. You'll see something pop up. Reddit group. Somebody got some information. Whether or not in certain states, I know in New Jersey, they no longer let attorney groups buy debt. So, and thank you, Miss Veronica, again. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Veronica. Sorry, I had a question. Someone asked, do you recommend pay for delete with collections?
I would not. The reason why, if you are, you better get it in writing, and you gotta be very careful because, like I said, they're liars. Before y'all pay, let's go back to, did you contact the regular company to see if you owe it? Especially with medical debts, some of y'all insurance uncovered that. Do you really owe a debt at all? I just did that with my toll, and the toll company, we didn't owe them anything. And it was, let me call them out, Penn Collection. They be lying. They sent us documentation of a bill, and they forged it to be they forged it. Penn, oh my God, they out in Pennsylvania. It's Penn Collection or something, y'all. They out here lying. And when the company sent us the bill, it wasn't even no charges. Everything was paid. So they will tempt you to pay them, and you don't even owe nothing. So reach out to the company. Here's my motto. Why would I pay somebody I don't owe? I'm just saying, if they're a third party and I don't owe you, if we're talking about the original creditor, that could be different because I owe you. But why would I pay somebody I don't even owe? It just don't make sense to me. So I would rather dispute and get it off. If it is a student loan collection, that is different, that for you to pay, but I would still make sure they even own the debt. I don't want to pay nobody I ain't own. That's it. Because a lot of y'all going to start, because I promise you this what y'all do. Going to go and do it. And then later on, I thought about it, or I didn't have the money no more. And then they get sued and then act like I'm Jesus. What can I do? Pay them folks at this point. Pay them. Do what you on, going on, and was grown enough to do, is going to pay on. So I'm telling y'all, you're going to feel mad bad once you pay them. And that if they don't put nothing in writing, you stuck. And it's going to update on your credit report. And a lot of them going to look at you like it got two heads. They done got their money. Nah. And they got that recording. That's the other thing. Watch what y'all saying on the phone. To my knowledge, I don't owe none of this. I do that with everybody. Original creditor, whatever. To my knowledge, I got to check my records. To my understanding, this is paid. That's what you need to be saying. To my understanding, this paid. What you talking about? Nah, this paid. But I check my records. Now, do you want, so you just watch what y'all talking to with people, because a lot of y'all, then it's like later on, everybody, oh, I wish I would have known. Well, school of the hard knocks. I'm telling you right now, be careful. And once you do it, then people like, but I paid it. They didn't. They won't take it off. I guess that's what it is. You know, it's very hard once you do payments to them. Now they got your payment. They got, look, she wrote me a check. Look, take that to court. See how that works. Not good. So that's all I'm saying, y'all. Just consider what you're doing.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, now we can.
I think so. So someone asked, Our school student loan company doesn't exist, and I'm assuming they sold it to the new company. What do they do in this situation?
Why don't the company exist? Did they shut down or what? Our school student loan company. What I said earlier, what you would do is go to studentaid.gov, get your whole payment history on that account. I wouldn't assume anything. See how much is outstanding and the payment history, and also reach out to FAFSA in the school. See how much you owed and who is this debt sold to? Where's the proof? So you also need to send that company a debt validation letter, certified mail, and do not sign that letter.
I wanted to just quick remind everybody, we started this live saying that we will be giving a special code and a special discount for everyone that is looking to carry out their disputes. You're looking for your dispute letters along with step-by-step on exactly what you should be doing. And that code is live. I'm going to put it here on the screen again while we go through some more questions. So next question was, what about voluntary repossessions?
To do it, or did you already, because if you gave a car back, it's still a repossession. A lot of people feel like it's not. I gave the car back, but whatever in that agreement, that outstanding debt is still owed. It goes back to what I said earlier in the live. We do have a debt validation letter where you can demand certain things they should have did. If you gave the car back, they sold it at auction, you should have had a chance to be there. Also, how much was the car sold for and what's the contract? So I would attack it with that the same way and challenge it the same way I've been saying on this live. Send them a certified letter demanding those items. Do not sign that letter. Then send it to the bureaus. I never got it. They never responded to me. And if they make a note to the bureaus that they received it and that is challenged, then you can overturn it, dispute it to get removed, because that's a violation of the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It was one more question, Jules, real quick. Right there. Oh, so never agree any arrangements with the collection companies over the phone. Never do that. So roger that. Do not do that. You could reactivate statutes of limitations in your state, and this can open you up for a lawsuit, and you're giving them legal right to collect on the debt when you agree to do business with them. Push for documentation and proof, period. Yes. By writing. Do not wait for them folks over the phone. Do not give them your information verified, because that starts the clock too, that they contacted you. So never verify your information for those people.
Mr. T, want to ask, did you say not to sign the letter?
Never sign the letter to the credit bureau. I mean, to the collection companies. Never. They can take your signature and put it on a contract and make it up. So do not, for collection, not the credit bureaus, collections, don't give them your signature. So that's why we say that. So we're gonna land on the live, you guys. We really appreciate you guys coming in on this live. If you have any questions, always you can we'll even actually respond to them. Diamond, any more questions? I didn't see any. Did you? Is there more?
I believe we just had one more question, and that was it. That was from One Love Not Hate. Auto lane charge off, car repo, bank sold, car remainder amount due once paid. How does this come off your credit report?
It'll stay on there for 7 years. Once the clock from the date of last payment, so it'll fall off if you don't dispute it and take some of the steps I had in this live here. That once you pay it, then that data last payment, which that would be, they can report it for it starts the clock for that 7 years to keep it on. And I want y'all to know too, they are required in order to have the power to report to your credit reports. They must give the bureaus a subscription amount of names, like 3,000 names, 2,000. That's why they don't want to pay for delete like that the way they used to. So that's something you guys need to know. Okay. So that's why they're not, and they will report. Okay. Because the bureaus sell your information. They make billions of dollars of collecting that data and actually just selling your information. So they want data. So just keep that in mind.
I believe that was the last question for the night. Thank you everyone who joined. And again, if you guys have more questions or you want your specific question answered, please do join the Elite Credit System, where you can come into the group coachings, and Sherry will be there to answer all of your personalized questions and give you personalized strategies. And with the Elite Credit System, we're able to see what's actually going on with your report, even if you're not able to identify exactly what's going on. So that is the major benefit to that. So again, there's group coaching calls once a week in the Elite Credit System. Now, for those of you that just want to be more hands-on for yourself, we do have our DIY bundles. And again, for tonight and tomorrow only, until midnight of Sunday, you will be able to get a special discount when you use the coupon code LIVE. You guys can go to sherrybeckley.com and you can find your dispute letters there.
And another thing too, you guys, a lot of y'all, if you want strategies to get larger credit card lines, it's helpful. If you need, like with the Elite Credit System, then I can see what you currently have and some of the better strategies on what companies would be better for you, for your better options. Because a lot of times people might not know all the rules with the different credit card companies, and there's certain places that it may be better for you to go to get those larger lines of credit or to get approvals. So that's part of the benefit too. I can see what you got going on your credit report, where's your score, and get guided. Like some people, it's like, with this, you clear this up. It should not really be that difficult to clear this situation up. It might just to pay down, make a payment on a credit card that's a little bit higher, and then it can make an easier approval somewhere else. So sometimes you just need to do a little tweaking just to get approved for certain things. And sometimes it's not about your credit score. It's about who you are applying to for what you want to achieve and applying for. Because some of you guys may want something, but you're applying in the wrong places. So all of your credit scores is not linear, so you might have a ton of hard inquiries, say on Experian, but your score is pretty good on Equifax. Maybe then you go over here to this bank that pull exclusively for Equifax, and it's going to be a year, and they don't see this collection over here. So that's part of the guidance. You guys, once you are working on your credit, it doesn't stop you, because sometimes some things will get cleared up. One good thing, like bankruptcy, we can see maybe like 2 bureaus get cleaned up, but one. A lot of y'all focus on the negative. Why don't you focus on a plan of working with what you achieve? So that's what I tell people. A lot of y'all waiting. Well, I still got this over here, but what are you doing with what's cleared up? Why don't we go to this bank over here that will pull exclusively from here? And this, you can achieve what you want. They're going to, even with a car loan, Certain banks only pull from one particular bureau for that approval. So why don't we just go with, where the wind is blowing towards your best direction. So keep that in mind. That's what the elite credit system and the coaching is about. A lot of strategies y'all ain't even think about, because that's something people don't ever think about. You don't supposed to be out here willy-nilly applying for things. The whole thing is you supposed to move to your best direction, and we strategize. Hold up. Don't apply there. Like Chase is one of them. When you clear up your credit report, you go to Chase first. They're very temperamental with how many new accounts you can have. Diamond, you could testify to that. And what, when we sat down, got you that business credit card, what I said, here's what we gonna do. We gonna go in branch. We gonna go here first. Boom. Close to over a $20,000. It was over a $20,000 credit card. But it's strategies with that. Then you go over here, American Express that. Some of y'all, because you can get approved somewhere, don't mean for you that's the order you need to be approved, because you might be one heart inquiry away from being a no at a Chase. So we might tell you, whoa, hold up. Before you run over to American Express, go to Chase first. And then get that American Express is a little more tolerable over here. And then you move. So sometimes it's your order. Not that you are doing things bad, but you might be way more effective and productive by doing things in a different way according to your particular credit report situation. So your cousin situation might not be yours. Well, this worked this way for my cousin. Your cousin might have different things on your credit report. They might have not applied for bankruptcy. You see what I'm saying? A lot of that. My cousin got their report cleaned off. Did your cousin have a repo like last month? Well, no. Well, that's why your cousin. So you can use general practices, but then there's some things that's personalized to you that really make the difference to your success. So we'll end on that. That's just food for thought.
Thank you guys so much. And we'll be back again next weekend, next Saturday, same time for another live. And also group coaching for all elite members. If you're a new member, you haven't joined the group coaching yet, please do come. It's every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Please, you guys, take full use of the benefit. Tap in one time and go on about your business. If you're resistant in some area, please come and check in with me if you're already part of the system so we can get it corrected and keep you going in the right direction. We appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who gave a super chat tonight, and we will see you all next weekend. Be blessed.
All right. Be blessed, everyone. Have a safe weekend. Bye-bye.